1220, KHTS, Randall Winter, home 411. We have three guests here today. Jeff Brown from NB Landscape. Thanks again, Jeff.
You're welcome.
And Dale Hayes from Hayes Plumbing.
Morning.
Jeff Saufley, Saufley Electric.
Good morning.
And I'm Randall Winter, Randall Winter Construction. We were talking to Jeff earlier, and I'm going to continue to keep a little continuity about electrical. With this power pole that's down, that actually wreaks a little havoc, as I recall, because now there's power outages in people's home. How can they protect themselves against something like that so that they don't? Because I know people have called me and said, oh, my TV doesn't work anymore. I have a customer just said his wine chiller doesn't work anymore. He said that our saws kicked the breaker off, but I don't believe that. But anyway.
There's a lot of electronic devices in your homes these days, and you can protect those electronic devices. You can protect them at the receptacle with a surge protection there, and everybody knows you have surge protection strips that will protect. But for me, I recommend a whole house surge protection, which is a surge protection at the electrical panel. And what this does, it just picks up the surge from wherever it's coming from, and it dissipates the surge through this device.
Is that a capacitor?
It's like a capacitor, exactly. It dissipates it through the ground and through this device that's on your panel. So, I had a customer that a couple of years ago that had a lightning strike on her house, and I had just put in a whole house surge protection at her panel. She called me up within minutes after the lightning struck her house and asked if, I thought everything was okay. I said, well, go out to your surge protector and look and see if that green light's still on. And sure enough, the green light was on. So I said, the surge protector did what it was supposed to do. And in years previous, she had surges because she's at the end of the line, the utility line, and she had damage over in previous years from high surges from the utilities.
Yeah, so what happens is we have outages for whatever reason. Our power company out here, I think, is Southern California Edison.
California Edison, yeah.
And they have to shut down for one reason or another, and that's not the problem. It turns all our clocks off. We have to reset them. But when they turn it back on, there's a surge, right?
Absolutely, there can be.
And that spike is an increase in line voltage that actually affects certain types of electronic equipment.
Absolutely, right. Most of your appliances are operating at 120 volts. You get a surge upwards to 20%, 30%, it can do damage to your equipment.
And the surge protector that you're talking about that you've installed protects you against that. Now, do they have the warranties like the little ones that we get, the strip protectors?
They do come with a warranty. Usually it's a 1-year warranty. Some of the more expensive ones come with a higher warranty. And they run the gamut on pricing on these things.
And what about the guarantee of them being saving your equipment? Do they guarantee your TVs and all that kind of stuff?
They don't guarantee your equipment itself, but they guarantee that the device itself.
Okay. Good. So if I were to have you out, say I have a 200 amp service and I wanted to put one on, is it based on your service size necessarily? Or?
It's based on the service size because you want to size them according to your service.
Okay, so I have a 200 amp service in my home. Then approximately, is there an idea of what something like that might cost?
You're looking around the $700 range for the install. You've got
so that's less than having to buy a new flat screen TV.
Absolutely,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who wants to go through the headache of
or your wine cooler
replacing all these appliances?
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, that's some pretty good information. Now how does the surge protector relate to an AFIC and a GFIC? Or GFCI, I should say. They protect in the opposite way, don't they?
Absolutely. Well, GFICs and arc bolts are based on an arc. A disconnect means, an example would be a lady vacuuming in her house, and she's pulling on that vacuum cleaner, and it pulls that cord out. When that vacuum has a load on it, it's going to create an arc. And so
by pulling the plug out.
By pulling the plug. So these can create potential hazards. A GFIC works with a moisture situation. They're very sensitive to moisture, and they'll trip very quickly, much quicker than a circuit breaker will.
Okay, but your surge protector is not tripping at all. That's actually protecting.
It's actually
from
protecting
power coming down and running your equipment. Cool. Okay. That's great. So
it almost seems like the GFIs protect you from what you're doing in the house back into it versus the whole house protector would protect you from what's coming in from the outside.
Absolutely,
Exactly.
yes, right.
So they're both, one is a protection for safety for the people in the house, and the other is protection for your equipment in
For
the
your
house
equipment.
for the outside surges.
Exactly.
I know some of this gets a little bit crazy for you listening out there, but those of you that have had the experience know how valuable something like this whole house surge protector could be. So if you are interested in something like that, we're not trying to be too commercial. We're trying to protect you, but Jeff Saufley puts them in at Saufley Electric. And what's your number again, Jeff?
661-268-0198.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to go on a break again. This is Santa Clarita's Hometown Station, AM 1220, KHTS. Thank you.